Hi everybody, haven't done a video for a little while. My favorite pillow, it's my comfy pillow when I talk. uh, got my tea too, my pomegranate green tea. Love that stuff. Anyway, this video is about different kind of prejudices. And the reason I'm making this one is because I have just about had it, y'all, with what I see going on when I go out in public, when I go different places, things I hear, things I see. What the hell is wrong with this country? We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and instead we're acting like asses. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm I'm gonna say it like it is. Um, I don't understand people. If you are watching this and you have any kind of prejudices against somebody because of their race, their religion, the religious beliefs, their skin color, uh, whether they're straight or gay, bisexual, transvestite, transgender, whatever, what the hell is wrong with you people? And I'm sorry, I'm just a little ticked off because of some of the things I heard today while out and about. And you know, this country is supposed to be the best, right? Well, I don't see that. We everybody is going around having these thoughts that this person, that person, whatever person isn't right, okay? And I don't get it, guys. I don't get it because what your sexual preference is, what your religious belief is, what your skin color is, what your race is, does not matter. We are all one race, and that's the human race. And I think it's pretty damn pathetic when I see and hear things going on, the things that I do. You know, the comments against gay people, the comments against Wiccan witch believers, you know, witches, whatever you want to call it, the comments against Christians, the comments against anything that somebody is. What is wrong with all of you people out there that if you're watching this and you do have any kind of prejudices against somebody because they're not like you, I don't understand what's wrong with you. Imagine how incredibly boring this world would be if we were all the same. If we all looked the same, believed the same, acted the same, talked the same. Imagine how boring this world would be. It'd be no different than if you think of your favorite food on the planet. If you ate that every single solitary day, one day you'd say, I am so sick of this, I want something else. What what is it in the minds of you people watching, if you do have a prejudice, what is it that got you there? Why do you feel any kind of a prejudice? I don't understand it. A person, a human being is just that, a human being. Nothing else. What their belief system is, what their race is, what their skin color is, what their eye color is, what their background is the least important it's the most unimportant thing there is out there. And I'm frustrated because I have heard, you know, things amongst kids when I'm out and about, and they learn that from somewhere. And if you're teaching your children any kind of a prejudice, you are a messed up parent, okay? You are messed up. You should be teaching your children to care about a human being for no other reason other than that they are a human being and that they're good. If they're a good person, that's all that matters, as I have stated in other videos. And I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. If there are any young people watching this and you have a prejudice against black people, Hispanics, Asians, white people, if you're a minority and you have a prejudice against white people, if you have a prejudice against somebody because of their religious belief or because they're gay, you know, I am at a loss at that. I truly am. When I look at a human being, I don't see what they are in terms of all of that. I just see a human being. And my most important judgment of a human being is, are you a good person? Are you kind? Do you treat people with respect? I mean, that's all that matters to me. I can't imagine having it in my head to constantly be looking at somebody and thinking, oh, he's black. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's Hispanic. Oh, she's white. Oh, she's Wiccan. Oh, I can't imagine having that clutter in my brain. I can't imagine having it. because when I see people, they're just people. And I have to ask you people who are prejudiced. Hold on just a second, guys. Sorry about that. The heater came on and I was dying. Anyway, um, I have to ask you, for all of you watching this who do have prejudices against people for whatever purpose, I have to ask you this. If you were drowning, or your child was drowning, someone you loved was drowning, or if you were hurt in an accident on the side of the highway, okay, you had an accident, you're bleeding, your loved one is knocked out, what have you, are you going to sit there and think to yourself, ooh, those are black people in that car. Those are Hispanics. Those are whites. Ooh, they look like flamboyant gay guys. Are you going to sit there and say, I don't want help from them? Or are you going to be asking, please come help me? If you see your child drowning and somebody over there is an excellent swimmer and is willing to jump in and help your child, are you going to sit there and say, oh, no, 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 I don't like your color. Um, Gee, you're kind of dressed like goth, witchy, or I just I just don't like your skin color. Is that what you're going to do when you're seeking help in a life and death matter? Somehow, I don't think so. And if you do, then you're beyond help. Because it's human instinct that if something has happened to you or a loved one and you need help, you're willing to get help from anybody that's around. And that's the way it should be all the time. It should be that it doesn't matter who's there. What should matter is it a good person? And you need to stop and think about that. You need to apply that same thinking. If you're on the side of the highway and you had an accident, you're bleeding, gushing blood, say your child is with you and he's knocked out, you need to have the same thinking all the time that you would at that moment, which is, oh please, somebody come and help us. Anybody come and help us. That's the way you're supposed to feel about human beings all the time. Not care who they are, care if they're a good person. And I'm making this video because I'm just so sick and tired of this country. If you watch the news, if you read anything online, all these stupid gangs, all this gang mentality out there of these kids who I don't know if it's because of the way they were brought up, if it's just something they picked up from their peers, what have you, but it's pathetic when I hear young people making comments about humans based on their race or religion or whatever. It just astounds me. I was not raised with any kind of prejudices. I wasn't raised with it. So to me, it is mind-blowing that anybody cares about such things. I'm hoping with all of my heart that all of you out there watching this, if you have a prejudice, you stop and think, you're a human being. Do you want somebody looking at you thinking, ooh, she's black, ooh, she's white, ooh, she's Hispanic, ooh, I don't like her, she's Asian, ooh. You don't want anybody looking at you like that. And if you don't care, if you're like, oh, I don't care what people think of me, well then you don't have a heart and a soul. Because most people don't want to be judged. Most people don't want to be judged. But yet if you're going to sit there and judge others, well, what do you think you're doing? You're judging others by their what they are, race, religion, color, sexual preference. You're not supposed to be doing that, people. You're supposed to be caring about human beings in general. And I wish everybody out there would stop this mentality. And when I see these, gangs, you see these kids that belong to gangs, it's like, what in the hell happened? What happened to young people growing up and thinking, I want to be a good person, I want to help others? Do they not have any discipline at home? Is everybody so busy that they're not disciplining their children? They're not there enough for them? What is going on? Because I see too much of it now. It is just, look at the news. You see a kid gets bullied to where they, commit suicide. You see kids bullying kids. You see, people who have taken videos of kids ganging up on a little kid. what the hell is wrong with all of these kids? What's wrong with the youth of today? I mean, there was a time, when I was young, you didn't disrespect your elders. You did not disrespect, your grandmother and your this. You just didn't do it. Okay, it just didn't happen. And I'm at a loss. I'm really at a loss as to how there is so much hate out there, and especially, you see so much against the gay people, and that just infuriates me. You don't decide to be gay any more than you decide to be heterosexual. Just like when I was a little girl, and I remember that I went through that, you go through that stage, ooh, I hate boys, they have cooties. I remember, ooh, boys are gross. And then all of a sudden one day, it was like, whoa, I was head over heels over my neighbor. I had a crush that I couldn't think without thinking about him. And that's it. That began from when I was very little. I was still in grade school. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he's so cute. I just love this guy. I'm going to marry this guy. I mean, that whole, that you do when you're young. Well, I was instantly attracted to a male once I got out of that little stage there of, oh, boys have cooties. Well, after that, boys didn't have cooties. Well, I guess you have to be careful there, but you know what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, you don't decide to be gay. You are born gay, just the way I was born straight, where I was attracted to guys. Well, they're born gay to where they're attracted to the same sex. Big frickin' deal. And I'm so sick and tired of them having to, worry about it. In the same, it's almost the same sense of like the, people who call themselves witches, the Wiccan belief and all that, pagan, what have you. It's like these people, we have to hide. Everybody has to hide what they are. And I think that's absolutely pathetic in this country. We're supposed to be the best country, people. And to be the best country, we have to come together and love and accept one another for what we are, not try to change everybody to be what we want them to be. That's insanity. That's absurd. We all were put on this earth. Who knows how? I don't know. I don't know how we all got here. But we're different. We're all different. We look different. There are different races, skin colors, eye colors, hair colors, heights, widths. Everything's different for a reason. I mean, it would be so pathetic. It'd be like, imagine the earth having only one type of plant, one tree over the entire earth, one flower over the entire earth. How boring would that be? I think that'd be pretty darn boring. One type of dog, one type of cat, one type of everything. How boring would it be? It'd be pathetic. And so people, if you're watching this and you have any kind of prejudices, you need to look in the mirror and realize you are who you are. Do you want somebody looking at you and thinking, I don't like her because she's this, or I don't like him because... No, you don't. You want to be accepted for who you are. And how many young people out there, are going through living hell that are gay or bisexual or transgender, transvestite? They can't be who they are because this lovely country will sit there and go, oh my God, I don't get it. I just don't get what the hell is wrong with this country. It amazes me, all the paranoia and the judgment. And for all you people out there who are religious, the Christian religion and all that, it's not your job to be judgmental. You guys believe that God is the final judge. Well, then, what are you doing walking around here preaching to anybody that they should or shouldn't be gay, should or shouldn't be anything that they are, shouldn't or shouldn't be a Wiccan, a pagan, what have you? Nobody has that right. We are all different. Thank goodness we're all different. I just can't. I actually had a dream one night where I woke up in my dream, and as I was looking across the land, everybody was dressed the same and looked the same. Same hair color, skin color, eye color, same clothes. And the background was nothing but flat surface. There was nothing. And I remember that dream thinking, oh my God, how horrible. It was just awful. So people, if you're watching this and you have prejudices, if you're a younger person, you need to stop and you need to forget about the name calling. And if you're in any kind of gangs, you need to stop and think, why are you in a gang? Why do you feel the need to be part of something that wants to tear down your fellow man, your fellow friends, kids, what have you, your age group? Why on earth do you want to do this? You should be finding ways to help one another. If you see someone who's down and out, if you see somebody who's struggling, figure out how to help them. Don't make fun of them and tease them. Oh, look at her. She wears rags to school. How do you know that poor girl isn't going home and having a piece of bread for dinner because her family is struggling? They're dirt poor. How dare you criticize anybody for not being what you think they should be? And when I see gangs, it really upsets me because instead of spreading the violence and spreading the hate, why don't you get a bunch of gangs together where you're spreading caring and love and helping? How wonderful would that be to see a group of teenage kids? I don't care if they're tattooed up and earringed up. How great would it be to see a group of kids come walking down the street and they're there to help people? Instead of everybody thinking, oh my God, there's a group of kids, you better be careful, they might shoot you. That's nothing to be proud of. If you think that by making people fearful of you, that's something to be proud of, that's the coward's way out. That's being cowardly as you can possibly humanly be. That is a coward to have to be in a gang to go around doing things to harm people. You should be doing the opposite. It'd be nice if a bunch of kids would get together and start creating gangs of do-gooders, going out to help one another, going out to see, oh, they see somebody homeless. Let's go buy that guy something to eat. Instead of, oh, look at that homeless guy. Let's go beat the shit out of him and see if there's something on him I can steal. What the hell is wrong with all of you? You are part of the human race. Everybody. We are a human race. And you have got to stop this. Everybody needs to stop this. Adults, children. It's not just youth. It's the adults as well. They're learning it from somewhere. I will not blame the parents because there are plenty of parents who raise their children very well and then they get involved with the bad crowd and they end up doing horrible things. So I won't do that. I think that's foolish. When I see psychologists and psychiatrists on TV saying, oh, it's the parents' fault, they didn't raise them right, that's bullshit. There are lots of kids who were raised in very good homes, but they chose the path they chose. Once you're a teenager, honey, you've got a choice. And if you choose to go with the bad crowd, that's your choice. No excuses. I grew up in the 70s when people were doing drugs right out in the parking lot at school. I didn't choose to be a part of that. Didn't want any of that stuff in my life. So you have a choice. So I guess I had to do this because after the things I've seen and heard over the past, couple weeks or so, it angers me to no end that anybody out there has any kind of prejudice. And I want you, especially the youth of today, to start thinking about helping our humanity. Look, guys, this is the only planet we've got right now. This is all we've got. We need to take care of it. We need to take care of one another. We need to have a heart. We need to have compassion and caring and loving for people, human beings, and for animals as well. We need to have that thing inside of you. When you see somebody homeless, you don't go, ah, loser, what a piece of shit. It's his fault. No, that's wrong. You don't know what got somebody to the place that they're at. Even drug addicts and all that, we don't know what got them to where they are. But instead of being a gang of people who go out and destroy property, destroy what we have, go out there and try to fix it. What a wonderful, imagine what it would be like to see groups of people walking around the city looking for ways to help others instead of shooting people, instead of proving. You know what it takes to prove how tough you are by shooting somebody? It takes nothing. That is a coward's way to go, oh, I'll shoot that somebody. What does that prove? That you can use a gun? That's all that proves. But to be able to think about how you can get out there and help this world, help this country, help people, help one another, to be able to think and process, well, let's see, this is going on in our city, that's going on, how can we help this, how can we make it better? Now that's smart, that's intelligence. Going and beating up people and criticizing and judging and putting down and bullying, no matter what your age, that shows how stupid you are, but it doesn't show anything up here at all. Because it takes something up here to try to figure out how to make things better. Gangs who go out and beat up and shoot people, they don't have anything up here, okay? That's the coward's way out. So I'm saying this because as I see some of these kinds of kids walking around, they think they're so cool. They think they're so big and bad. There's nothing big and bad and cool about being cruel, unkind, dangerous, hurtful, and having people look at you like, oh my God. There's got to be something wrong with you if you think that there is something good in people fearing you and thinking, I don't want to be around that person. That doesn't make you tough. It makes you a coward. Because a coward the only way that they can deal with people is to create fear. That's a coward because they don't have the intelligence to say, well, like me for who I am because I'm a good person and I'm nice and I can figure out ways to help you in life. It's easy to be mean. That's one of the easiest, quickest things anybody can do. And so now when I see this stuff going on around me, as I see it on the news, I read it online, I watch it where I live, and I know it goes on all over this country, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss when I think of how wonderful, I imagine how wonderful this country could be. The rest of the world, no. I'm talking about this country. How wonderful it could be. Imagine if all this youth, the youth of this country, would start having that mentality, and older people teaching their children, honey, you care about that person only because they're a human being. You don't worry about anything else. You don't sit there and say, well, I don't know about that skin color. I don't know about their race. I don't know about their religious belief. I don't know about them being gay. No. You're supposed to be teaching your children. If you're a parent and you've got any prejudices, you are setting your children up for a very unhappy life. Because if you can't go through life just caring about people because they're people, no other reason, they're just people, and whether they're good or bad, teach your children you don't want to be around bad people. And bad people come in every size, shape, race, color, ethnicity, sexual preference, you name it. They come good and bad in all. There is not one race, not one anything that has all good people. So you should be teaching your children and yourselves that what matters is that someone is good. And you think about that. If you're walking down a dark alley one night and you see somebody coming after you, walking behind you, and they've got some pretty shady looks about them, like a knife or a gun with them, and you see somebody on the other end of that alley, are you going to sit there and think, oh, he better be the right race, sexual preference, skin color, and everything else in order to help me? No. You're going to be thinking, oh my God, just get me to the end of this alley safely, let that person help me, because that's human instinct to look for help when you're in danger. And you're not supposed to be thinking, what is that person, before you want help from that person. So I'm saying this because it's really angered me, people. There's too much going on in this country that's causing too much misery, too much criticism and judgment, too much hate, too much violence, too much everything. And I want people to stop this. I want this country to look at one another, look at your neighbor, look at those that are in need, look at those, if you're doing well, if you're lucky enough to be doing really well in life and you have a lot of finances and what have you, why the hell can't you quit buying $10,000 necklaces and quit buying? I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy those things. Yes, there are wonderful things, but my God, there are so many things you can do besides buy stuff with your blessings that you have been given. Not everyone can be a doctor and lawyer, so all you idiots out there who say, well, I made it, I'm successful. Well, let me tell you people something that judge others. You doctors, lawyers, businessmen, all you successful people, well, who makes the books that you study to become your doctor, your rich self-doctor? Who's the one who made the tables and the chairs in your offices? Who's the one who made the buildings, who put those bricks together? Who are the ones who do all that little stuff that you use in order to get where you are? Where would you be without them? You wouldn't have the books. You wouldn't have the buildings, the chairs. You wouldn't have everything that you use to climb that ladder if it weren't for the other people making those things. So no one has the right to judge, and no one has the right to say, oh, well, I'm better than you. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a this. I'm a that. You're just a waitress. That is insanity and it's absurdity, because that waitress and waiter are the ones who give us that lovely, wonderful, luxurious treat of going to order, eat, not clean it up, walk away and say, ah, that was delicious. I can't imagine life without all those people. So all you nut jobs out there who sit there and say, oh, well, if somebody's on the street homeless, that's not my problem. Yes, it is. It's everybody's problem, because not everybody can be at the top of the ladder. It's impossible. It doesn't work in the chain of events of life. It just doesn't work. This pillow I'm holding, I can guarantee you the guy who sewed it certainly isn't a multimillionaire. They're probably making a minimum wage, or who knows where it was made. They're probably making $2 a day or something. We don't know, but I do know that the judgment has got to stop. And I am tired of it, and I guess I'm a little upset about it today because I hear little comments when I hear kids. Oh God, he's so gay. Oh my God, that's so gay. Oh, he's just an N. I don't even. I'm going to say the word. You know what? I don't care. I'm tired of saying the N word. I hear kids out there saying, "Oh, he's just a nigger." Do you know how that grates that I can't even tell you what that does to me. When I hear all that, I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with this country, with America? What is wrong with us that we are so bitter and angry and judgmental and so damn mean? I don't understand it. It's so easy to be nice. It's so easy to be caring and good and helpful of one another. This country is going to go down the tubes, guys. Number one, we've got government that, I'm sorry, I don't trust the government at all. There's just so much about it I don't trust. And we've got to come together as a society. We've got to be there for one another, help one another. The government doesn't give a damn about us, obviously. I think anybody with brains and who can read can see what's going on around us. There are other countries that are doing much better than us. They have their schooling paid for. They have their medical care taken care of. They have so much that we don't. And we're supposed to be the best country, but I don't think we are. And that's sad to say. And we need to come together, and we're not going to do it by judging everybody because they don't look, act, think, and breathe like we do. Like I said, what a boring freaking world that would be, and I'm really tired of it, guys. And I would like you to get out there and spread it to people. Try to get people to understand we need to be there for one another. We've got to take care of one another regardless of our sexual preference, our race, our color, our ethnic background, our religious beliefs. None of that matters. What matters is that we're good people and that we take care of one another. We have become such a selfish society, and the youth of today, they are so entitled. They think they deserve everything. I'm astounded when I see these little children with cell phones and iPads and all this, and I'm just like, what is going on here that kids feel they're so damn entitled now? They don't want to work for anything. They don't feel that they have to. It's like, well, my friend has it, so I have to have it. And the parents give in because parents don't want to take the time to discipline. It's just easier to say here, here, here. And now we've got a bunch of kids who don't give a damn about, they have no character. They have no moral character, no human values, no nothing. They're running around more concerned about this little cell phone that they have and how they can show everybody, see what I got? Who gives a damn? If you're a snotty little shit who doesn't give a damn about people, I could care less what you've got on you and how much you spent on it, or how much your parents spent on it, or what kind of car you drive. You are not a good person because you have a fancy car. You are not a good person because you have a lot of money. And you are not a good person because you're higher up the ladder, shall we say, in the professional world. What makes you a good person is how you treat your fellow man, how you help the society, the city you're in, the county you're in, the goings on in your particular area, your community. How do you help? What do? Do you sit back and write a check and that's it? Or do you care about anybody? When you're out and about, like, I will give you an example. Just yesterday, I was at the store. This lady walked up. She was obviously a little downtrodden. This lady walked up, and she had a few articles of food. She looked at me. I saw her shoes were kind of torn. Her hair looked like it hadn't been washed forever. She was probably homeless. I don't know. But she had this food, and she looked at me, and she looked at me straight in the eyes, and she says, "Ma'am, could you please give me like $3 so I can buy this food? I have just enough. I only need about $3. And I thought, okay, this person is actually buying food, not the typical hand them $5 on the street and who knows what they do with it, but that's not for us to judge. But I looked at her and I thought, oh my gosh, she's trying to buy some food. So I took out a 20 and I said, here, for me that's a lot. I took out a 20 and I said, here, you take this. And she looked at me so stunned I thought she was going to faint. And she goes, ma'am, that's a 20. And I said, take it. I said, you obviously need it. So go buy yourself some food. She stood there so stunned she couldn't talk. Her mouth was hung open. She was like, and she looked at the money. She goes, are you serious? And I said, go buy yourself some food. I watched that woman. She walked over and got more food. She ran over to the little area over there and she picked up some things and she got in line and she looked back at me and she went like this. She went, Thank you. And she stood there stunned, holding the stuff in her hands like she could not believe it had happened. And I'm telling you, when I gave her that 20, I thought, yeah, 20 is a lot in my world, but it's a hell of a lot more in her world. And it felt so good to give her that 20 and see her buy some food. I can't even tell you, knowing that she bought food, that maybe that's all she's going to have for who knows how long. But it was very obvious she was a downtrodden woman, and it broke my heart. And I thought $20 won't change my life, but it could certainly change hers for at least having food. So guys, we have got to come together, and we've got to make this world a better place. We've got to teach our children that they have to earn what they want in life. You don't just keep handing things over, because they become selfish, full of themselves, and that's all they care about. And that's what I see going on. And you need to teach them moral characters. You need to teach them to have a heart and soul of compassion. You need to teach them to have gangs of do-gooders instead of gangs of shooting and beating and bullying. Let's start teaching kids how it is to be proud, to be out there helping people and being good. There's this weird thing amongst some people where, you know, the old saying, oh, goody two-shoes, she's a goody two-shoes, he's a goody two-shoes. How weird is that, that is considered a negative thing if somebody's called a goody two-shoes? Isn't that odd that being good and doing right and helping others is frowned upon or laughed about? I think that's amazing, and it's sickening at the same time. So we need to come together, guys, and stop the judgment. Don't give a damn about what that person is in terms of all those things I mentioned before. Only care about them being a good human being. Because like I said, guys, you better stop and think really hard. If you're alone in your house and someone's breaking in and you're on that phone with 911, do you give a damn who's on the other end? Do you care if they're gay, straight, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, fat, skinny, tall, what have you? No, you don't give a damn. All you're thinking is, oh my God, send someone to help me. Please help me, help me, help me, when you're on 911. And that's how you all need to look at everybody. Because all of you out there who are prejudiced against blacks, Hispanics, whatever, whites, whatever the case may be, gay, straight, I tell you what, you better think about that if you ever need 911. Your 911 is, you don't give a damn about people and their makeup and their beliefs. You're caring only that there is someone there to help you. Is that not true? You out there who are prejudiced for whatever reason, I guarantee you, if you got off of finish watching this video and you're alone and someone's coming in trying to break in your door and you're on that phone, you're not going to give a damn who's on the other end. You're only going to be saying, help me. And that's the way it should be, guys. Helping one another regardless of all those things I mentioned before. Forget religious beliefs, forget sexual preference, forget race, forget color, forget all of that. You're supposed to feel the same way you do when you're on that 911 call needing help. You don't care. You just want that human being to be of assistance to you. Take that with you, guys. All you prejudiced people out there, all you people who want to condemn somebody and criticize them for being gay, for being straight, for being whatever the case is, you need to think about that next time you're looking at your phone. You think about what 911 means. It means help me, please. I don't care who you are. Just help me. I need help. That's it, guys. That's how you need to view everybody, as human beings that can help one another, and stop this mentality that is going on with the gangs and the gay bashing and the bullying. Stop it all, for heaven's sake, for whatever you believe in sake. For that sake, we got to stop it, or this country is going to go to hell further than it already has, because the youth of today is what's going to be running it long time from now. And from what I see, it's not a good thing. They're not caring about anybody. They're not wanting to work for anything. They're not having any respect, any caring, giving. The gangs are getting bigger and meaner and uncaring. Don't know why. And I think it's so sad, because it proves nothing when you go around shooting people and you go around killing people and you go around beating up people and scaring people. The only thing that shows is that you are a coward beyond cowardice. You are just a coward because it takes thinking to be a good person. It takes intelligence to figure out how to make the world a better place. It takes no intelligence to use a gun and to shoot and to beat and to bully. So, guys, make yourself the person on the other end of the phone with the 911 thinking, I don't care who you are, help me. Will you be the same and you help others? Okay, guys? We've got to stop this. This country is falling apart. And those of you that are prejudiced and have your prejudices of all these different situations and areas, you're just making the matter worse. And those parents out there who have the tough mentality that you are raising your children with that gang type of mentality, well, aren't you just the bright ones to have your children going out there thinking it's cool to shoot, get shot at, the innocent children, the innocent bystanders, everybody that pays a price for ignorance and stupidity. Not something to be proud of. That's something to be ashamed of. So everybody, stop the prejudices, stop the meanness, stop the hate. I'm making this video because I just am fed up with what I see. And we cannot change it unless we come together. And I mean that in every area. I mean, I heard a couple not too long ago talking about how they wish they could get married, but they're gay. And they can't here. I think it's disgusting that anybody cares. It blows my mind that anybody cares that somebody is gay and wants to get married. It still astounds me that anybody out there still has such a primitive, backwards form of thinking. And I know a big part of that is because of Christianity, and I'm sorry that's a fact, but it is. It's a big factor in it. The Catholic Church still, that's why I got out of the Catholic Church many, many, many years ago. The hypocrisy killed me. But, guys, we've got to stop this. I mean, we have got to stop this. We have got to stop the selfishness. We have got to start helping one another. We've got to start looking outside of our box and figuring out ways to do things, people. Look at the world around you. Look at the way it is. Everybody having to lock their doors, lock their cars, having to not be walking out at night, having to be careful of everything you're doing because there's so much insanity out there. We've got to stop this, and we've got to start it with ourselves and by teaching our youth that you've got to be good. It's a good thing to be good, not to be bad, guys. So that's it. I just had to say this because I'm so sick and tired of what I'm seeing going on, and it saddens me what the future has for my grandchildren. It saddens me deeply that kids can't even go to school without worrying that they're going to be made fun of because they're not rich, because they don't have expensive things, because they're poor, because maybe they're having difficulty learning, they have dyslexia, whatever they may have. They're made fun of. What the hell is wrong with you kids out there and you parents who aren't seeing that your kids are these kind of bullies? They should be looking at those kids thinking, how can I help them? What can I do? How can we get together and help? Instead, they make fun and bully to the where that child either has to leave the school or kills themselves or does who knows what because they lose it. This country is just, it angers me. It angers me beyond words. And it saddens me because we're supposed to be the greatest country. I'm sorry, but I certainly don't see that at all. And I think it's time that we stop seeing one another for our flaws and start seeing one another for the fact that we're just human beings and how can we do better for one another. And teach your children, for goodness sake, teach those children that when they see somebody down and out, when they see somebody who's of a different skin color, a different religious belief, you don't criticize and you don't condemn and you don't have them running around saying, oh, Satan's going to get you. As far as I'm concerned, people that do that teach your children to go around judging and condemning others because of race, religious belief, sexual preference. If you believe in the devil, I think he's gotten into you all the way. Because what a better way to be than to control people by saying you're going to do it my way or to hell with you. That's the devil, if you believe in that. I don't believe in the devil, but if you do, I think he's got you, because what better way than to have you running around judging, criticizing, putting down, bullying, hurting, and being cruel in general. Yep. So you religious people out there who are saying, "Oh, well, I'm a Christian and I don't believe in this, or I'm a this, or I'm a whatever religious you are," and you don't believe. Well, guess what? I think that's most evil stuff. So, anyway, I had to make this video. I'm sorry, I just kind of a rant, but I'm tired of the cruelty that I see going on, the uncaring, the coldness, the why don't you try the old what is it? Pay it forward thing. You know, try that. Get out there. Pay it forward. If you see somebody in front of you, they got 2 items and you can afford it, say, I'm gonna take care of that. Or maybe at the drive up or something. Do things. If you see somebody homeless, buy them some food and take it to them. If you're not comfortable giving money because you feel like they're going to use it on drugs or alcohol, well, maybe that's their only pleasure for the day. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. But do something. And let's start teaching our kids to get together to make gangs of how do we help our society? How do we help our country? How great would that be, huh? To see a group of kids coming down and instead of running and locking your car and your doors, you're thinking, oh, wow, those are the kids that help people. Wow, wouldn't that be one hell of a switch? Anyway, guys, have a good one. I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.